a girl child is born, and it doesn't often happen, she stays with her mother to learn the hidlins, which are the secrets of keldering. When she is old enough to be married, she must leave the clan, taking a few of her brothers with her as bodyguards on her long journey. Often she'll travel to a clan that has no kelder. Very, very rarely, if there is no clan without a kelder, she'll meet with Feagles from several clans and form a completely new clan, with a new name and a mound of its own. She will also choose her husband. And from then on, while her word is absolute law among her clan and must be obeyed, she'll seldom go more than a little distance from the mound. She is both its queen and its prisoner. But once, for a few days, there was a kelder who was a human girl. A Feagle glossary, adjusted for those of a delicate disposition. Big jobs, human beings. Blethers, rubbish, nonsense. Carlin, old woman. Cludgy, the privy. Crivens, a general exclamation that can mean anything from "my goodness" to "I've just lost my temper and there is going to be trouble." Dree, your, my, his, her weird. Face the fate that is in store for you, me, him, her. Geese, a very important obligation backed up by tradition and magic. Not a bird. Eldritch, weird, strange. Sometimes means oblong too, for some reason. Hag, a witch of any age. Hagging, haggling, anything a witch does. Hidlins, secrets. Muddlin, useless person. Pisht, I am assured that this means tired. Scunner, a generally unpleasant person. Scuggan, a really unpleasant person. Ships, woolly things that eat grass and go bar, easily confused with the other kind. Spavey, see Muddlin. Special sheep liniment, probably moonshine whiskey, I am very sorry to say. No one knows what it'd do to sheep, but it is said that a drop of it is good for shepherds on a cold winter's night, and for Feagles at any time at all. Do not try to make this at home. Waily, a general cry of despair. Chapter 1. Leaving. It came crackling over the hills like an invisible fog. Movement without a body tired it, and it drifted very slowly. It wasn't thinking now. It had been months since it had last thought, because the brain that was doing the thinking for it had died. They always died. So now it was naked again and frightened. It could hide in one of the blobby white creatures that barred nervously as it crawled over the turf, but they had useless brains capable of thinking only about grass and making other things that went bar. No, they would not do. It needed something better, a strong mind, a mind with power, a mind that could keep it safe. It searched. The new boots were all wrong. They were stiff and shiny. Shiny boots, that was disgraceful. Clean boots, that was different. There was nothing wrong with putting a bit of polish on boots to keep the wet out. But boots had to work for a living. They shouldn't shine. Tiffany Aching, standing on the rug in her bedroom, shook her head. She'd have to scuff the things as soon as possible. Then there was the new straw hat with a ribbon on it. She had some doubts about that, too. She tried to look at herself in the mirror, which wasn't easy because the mirror was not much bigger than her hand, and cracked and blotchy. She had to move it around to try and see as much of herself as possible and remember how the bits fitted together. But today, well, she didn't usually do this sort of thing in the house, but it was important to look smart today, and since no one was around, she put the mirror down on the rickety table by the bed, stood in the middle of the threadbare rug, shut her eyes and said, "See me." And away on the hills, something, a thing with no body and no mind, but a terrible hunger and a bottomless fear, felt the power. It would have sniffed the air if it had a nose. It searched. It found. Such